Endless Space 2 review. If I had to describe the game, it's kind of like Cookie Clicker and a Gario. But then there's like a level up point system, but without any gameplay. You know? Let's go. Let's go. Endless Space 2 review. Once again, I'm watching a YouTuber review a game that I've never heard of and I've never played. So let's go. This is my favorite way of experiencing games. Hell yeah!
Hey people, Sseth here. Humanity. One day, we will inevitably reach the stars. And one day, we will inevitably reach other intelligent, sentient, yet...
Warhammer's gonna happen, chat. Warhammer 40k is gonna happen!
utterly alien races. We will shape their many appendages, engage in trade, exchange ideas, and even attempt diplomacy. But we all know, inevitably, how this has to end.
Of course. The heat death of the universe, baby!
Welcome to Endless Space 2. Endless Space 2 is a 4X
Dude, why
game.
is this space endless, huh? Why don't they call it limited space, huh? Huh? Why is it endless, huh? Huh? I have a harmonica now. It's my new thing. Cause it's endless. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I can believe that.
Which, if you're not familiar with, stands for the 4 X's: expand, explore, and exterminate all xenomorphs before they do the same to you. Probably, you know, most likely. I've played this turn-based sci-fi strategy in...
Wait, so... Is this... What franchise is this? Is it the... Like, they say xenomorph. Is it from that? What's the movie called? What is that? I don't know what is... Endless Space 2. Okay. Whatever. Alien. Yes. It's just called Alien. That's why I didn't remember. It's only called Alien.
Intensely for the better part of a month, and before that, about 2 years, and I must confess, it's pretty damn good. Also, there is a story, and it is absolutely critical you understand the lore of this game. In the current job market, Endless Space historians are in extremely high demand, and boast starting salaries of about 300k. Most of the Fortune 500 companies hire at least 2 of them in order to understand what the fuck is going on. The story is told to you through wiki articles.
Oh my god, is it like Elden Ring levels of lore where you gotta read item descriptions? Oh god. Oh god. I'd offer 300,000 a year for that too. Worse? Worse? How can it be worse? How can it be worse, bro? Wait, what? Think Evil 9? You think I know what the fuck Evil 9 is? If I don't know what Endless Space is? You think I know what the fuck Evil 9 is?
Of which is questionable, because I've edited several articles and they still haven't caught me. In the universe of Endless Space 1 and 2, there is or was an incredibly advanced civilization called the Endless. What happened to the Endless? Well, there's less of them. The end. Roll credits. But no, they went to space and they developed technology. They revolutionized the galaxy by creating dust. Dust is used as money in Endless Space 2, which it isn't. It's an autonomous cloud computing network of nanomachines that get smarter as the cloud gets bigger. They're capable of self-assembly, self-autonomy, and farming crypto tokens at rates never before seen in the known galaxy. However, they developed a little too hard when they figured out how to upload your soul. So half of them went on to live as immortal machines running on the 5G network. These were known as the virtual Endless.
Slow down. Stop. Okay, stop. I'm getting flashbacks to when I watched the Warhammer lore videos. I'm getting flashbacks. Dude, I low-key, okay, so the Endless, they're like humans, but like better humans, and then they make technology, and then they create these nanobot machines that are super epic and can create everything, and then some of the Endless realize they can turn themselves into, upload themselves into the machine, so then they're like machine people, and then the rest are still endless space?
The other half, known as the Concrete Endless, considered them an abomination, because it's hard to consider a sentient laptop as intelligent life. Even harder when you find out it's still running Windows Vista. Unable to reconcile their differences, the Endless decided to end each other. The Virtuals unleashed bioweapons on the Concrete. The Concrete
Okay, so yeah, so the Virtuals are the Endless who uploaded themselves, and the Concretes are the ones that didn't. I love how all the gifts so far have been gay porn, by the way. Just wanted to comment on that.
Malware to their mailbox, forcing them to run 3 billion instances of Bonzi Buddy. Needless to say, they wiped each other out. The Endless came to an end, but many centuries later,
I never
other
understand
races
the wipe each other out narratives, because surely someone won. Like, by sheer the way things work when you have two factions fighting, surely one of them had people survive. Like, it's not like you can have like both factions actually kill each other off at the same time, standoff style.
figured out space travel, picking apart the ashes and remains of a civilization long forgotten. In the galaxy of the Endless is where our story takes place. So, what do you do in Endless Space 2? Well, you pick a spacefaring civilization and you try to win. But what is victory? Victory
So
can be anything.
wait, is it like fuck, what's it called? Warhammer Infinite? What's the one called? The one with the civilization tree? The one, oh fuck, the one with the rats? The one with the rats. We watched videos of it. The ones with the rats. The one with the rats. The one with the French people. What's the game called? What's the game called? What's the game called? I don't need the Total Warhammer. Thank you! So is this like Total Warhammer in space? Question mark?
Technology, intergalactic conquest, or even weaponizing the influence of e-girl streamers to absorb every sentient race in the galaxy. Because, as we already know, a sentient brain is still capable of falling victim to becoming a simp. The path to victory is your own free choice. The game itself is very customizable, meaning there's no reason to pick any speed except fast, any galaxy besides ovoid, and if anyone dares pick a custom race, we are all going to collectively form a non-aggression pact and hunt you down. Starting off, you only have a single planet. Your home system is very modest, and you need to rapidly scale your operations if you hope to compete with the rest. To do so,
it's like a micromanaging type tycoon almost game. I'm just trying to understand the gameplay. I'm just trying to understand. It's online multiplayer. So it's like a space hotel tycoon. Space roller coaster tycoon? Question mark?
Expand and colonize new systems. Exploration is very simple. You send an exploration vessel into the great unknown and watch as it dies to pirates. Before that happens, you'll want to find as many uncolonized systems as possible. On each planet, there's a chance of finding curiosities. These are the slow, pulsing rings you see on display. To explore a curiosity, you need to send a probe. It's quite similar to the probe.
Okay, I'm gonna be so for real. This game seems absolutely miserable to play. I will never understand playing games like this. Dude, not gonna lie, game seems fun. No, I am getting the opposite impression. To me, it seems like a miserable game to play, bro. I can barely manage myself. You want me to manage stuff in a game too?
Minigame from Mass Effect 2. If successful, the game will let you know, together with a small reward for finding it before anyone else. These can be anything from strategic or luxury resources, planetary anomalies, or even the start of a random quest line.
Ooh,
the point
wow.
of curiosities is to try and guess which star systems are worth colonizing. In general, any system less than 3 planets is garbage. Any system with only cold planets is garbage. In fact, ask enough players and you'll find that every possible star system ever formed by the laws of physics is still garbage. Colonize them anyway, because I like the animation that plays each time you do so. There's actually an animation for every type of planet, which I didn't know, because who the fuck colonizes a gas giant as their first choice of planet? It's like, where we dropping, boys? Oh yeah, on the burning gas giant. How are we meant to walk on a gas giant? very carefully. Anyway, I'm losing track. You choose a star system, and you pick a more reasonable type of planet to be the base of your colony. Most factions can't settle a system immediately. They need to form an outpost, send colony support, and convince any other players contesting the system to cease their aggressive expansionism. You can do this through liberal policies, such as stealing their food supplies, or less liberal policies, also known as an interplanetary blockade, with a sole...
So isn't like the whole map is like accessible to everyone? So like at the same time, everyone is kind of in the same spot? Or I'm wondering how the multiplayer aspect works. Yeah. So like there's only a finite amount, but like I assume a lot of places. And then you can be like, oh, have you been to Bloopy Doopy? Oh yeah, I have Bloopy Doopy right now. But I assume there are probably servers for it, right? Like it's probably like, oh, there's a North American server where John Doopy has Bloopy Doopy. But on the European one, it's Vladimir who has Bloopy Doopy. You have Bloopy Doopy.
Purpose of starving them to death. Typically, this is how you greet other players. Otherwise, you blast their ships out of orbit and you get sent a formal complaint, to which you respond accordingly. Diplomacy is an interesting concept.
We do have other things to take care of. These are diplomatic channels, not social media. Again? Are you just lonely?
Why is he so sick? Why is it? But why? What relevance does it have to the plot? What?
Because, unlike many games of a similar nature, diplomacy is a tangible resource. In fact, everything is a resource. If you want to condense down the Endless Space 2 experience, you're going to be spending hours of your life trying to increase the 5 colors: green,
I
orange,
don't
yellow...
understand the gameplay. I don't understand. 6 minutes into the video, I don't understand what you're actually doing in this game. There's like, you can't walk around. You can't do anything. You just press this menu and then you get a cool cutscene for 2 seconds. And then you just look at a number to the side. I don't get it. I think this is the most confused I've been of a concept of why a game exists so far. On all the game reacts I've done, this is the one that's it's confusing me the most.
Blue and purple. Respectively, these are food, industry, dust, science, and influence, or FIDSI for short. These are the combined economic outputs of your systems. At the beginning, you don't have very much. You can't do very much, so you need more. A lot more. You need
so it's like, wait, I think I get it. It's like cookie clicker, but you do more than clicking the cookie. Am I correct? It's cookie clicker. It's cookie clicker, but you gotta click the cookie with extra clicks. Okay? You gotta do extra clicks to click the cookie, chat. You know what? I understand the number go up mentality. I never really got cookie clicker that much. Because to me, it's like, it's a virtual number that has nothing to do with me. But at the same time, I'm a streamer, so I can't completely say I don't understand being obsessed with virtual numbers. So yeah.
Grow population. Population contributes to the economy and gives you different bonuses depending on the race of that population. But a planet's base output is pathetic, so you need to build improvements. To do that, you need industry, more production. But you can't have industry.
Yeah, it's like idle cookie. It's like when you get the auto clicker in the cookie clicker. When you get the auto clicks, you know, you get the little cursors that click for you. That's what he's doing now. He's getting the auto clicks, chat. Dude. Yeah, dude. He's getting the auto clicks. Doesn't everything on a sub.
Research, and you can't have research without science. Besides unique variations, every faction follows the same unified tech tree. Supporting larger industry requires dust, a lot of dust. And if you're planning to go to war, exponentially more dust. To even make the formal declaration that you're going to erase someone off the face of the galaxy, you need influence. It is the most precious resource and represents your combined political power. The bigger your influence, the bigger your sphere sphere of influence. This game doesn't work on national borders. It works on raw intergalactic peer pressure. Have enough influence and you'll absorb everyone without even lifting a finger. Besides other players, there are also minor factions.
Did you know the Nigerians govern a sector of space occupied by several different humanoid species?
If we say yes, will you feed us?
One of those species is the Benkarans. They occupy just 10% of Nigerian space,
What is this? What am I
but take
watching?
up nearly 80% of the space in Nigerian prisons.
Maybe they commit more crimes.
These are civilizations that are advanced, yet not advanced enough to avoid a simulation. These are very diverse and can be anything from sentient jellyfish, reformed assassin droids looking for God, or even moving chunks of coral reef remotely piloted by a sentient supercomputer the size of a planet, which in itself was formed by random chance. Minor factions exist to be absorbed by other players. Why? Because you get a free system out of it and a unique racial trait. Never underestimate these, because a single good trait can win you
So
the
random
game.
factions are like NPC factions? The minor factions are? They're like... it's like... Oh, I get it! It's like Agario. When you're playing in Agario, there's other player balls, but there's also idle small balls that are NPC controlled. So you can swallow the smaller balls to get better to beat the big balls. It's just like Agario. I get it. Ah, yes, I understand. I'm beginning to understand this game. Fuck you. What? You're just mad because I'm beginning to relate to this game. Huh? You're just mad because I'm beginning to relate. Okay.
There's also pirates.
It's okay. Everybody finds me irresistible.
I get
Pirates
it.
exist to occupy every system you ever like and reduce the overall quality of your time and space. Luckily, pirates are business oriented and will not trouble you as long as you pay. Also, I like putting pirate marks on all of my friends' colonies. Consider it an indirect way of saying maybe you should move. Now you've got the basics down. What are you meant to do? You're meant to try and you're meant to fail. Endless Space 2 gives you freedom. Freedom to fuck up and suffer the consequences. The tech tree is subdivided into 4 distinct categories: military, economy, science, and empire. Develop your military and you get bigger guns, but you don't get the ships to
Makes
mount them.
sense.
You need to develop your empire for that. Then you need a
You gotta
military
click the
industrial
military button to get more military. Makes sense. You're gonna make so many people mad, dude. Look, chat. Remember I told you that I rage bait more than you guys rage bait? It's just that you never take it as rage bait. You just take it as me being stupid. Here's an example for you if you wanted a live example.
complex to
No, you chronically cannot understand it.
facilitate the production of your armada, which forces you to tech economy, not only for developing your systems, but for supplying a constant stream of dust. Because bankruptcy is not an option.
Okay.
For reference, one technology unlock is the difference between abject poverty and having the largest intergalactic trade company incorporated
Of
on your home
course.
system. Why stop there? Get access to the galactic commodities market as well, because it's a biological requirement for me to speculate the stock market in every game I play. Do all that and realize you neglected science, which is a problem because every single research you ever research makes every following research more expensive to research. Endless Space 2 is a great galactic scale balancing act. Every action taken is counterbalanced by the opportunity cost of every action not taken. Here's an example. Let's say you found a nice system, but you can't colonize it because each type of planet requires the respective technology to touch ground on their surface. You might spend a bunch of
Okay.
turns teching toward
Yeah, it's a case. It's like a game where you have to invest stats, but without actually playing the game, you only invest the stats. Yeah, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Kivani Clowny. Welcome. We're watching Endless Space 2 review. If I had to describe the game, it's kind of like Cookie Clicker and Agario, but then there's like a level up point system, but without any gameplay. You know, honestly, I'm beginning to understand why people play it, though. I am beginning to understand. At first, I was confused, but now I get it because I too had an Agario phase, chat. I did. Okay, I played Agario for a while. Never really played Cookie Clicker that much, but I did play Agario. You know. Yeah, I love games without gameplay. Yeah, it's about the numbers. It's about the seeing the numbers, and then you put the stats. You know, it's like, it's like in dispatch where you dispatch your character and then they get a level and then you gotta pick if you put it into intelligence or charisma or power. It's like dispatch, but without the story. Yes, I did see the new Space King. You missed it though, but don't worry, it'll be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube.
That as a result, you get a new system. However, your lack of tech leaves you oblivious to the contents. You later find out that ideal Mediterranean planet you picked is filled with dinosaurs. The water is made of mercury, and the atmosphere gives you cancer. If you pumped everything into science and exploration, you would have found a much better system nearby. Because you explored the curiosities, you know there's plenty of strategic deposits without the risk of melanoma. Even the worst colony has great potential. Given a development plan, systems can compensate for deficiency using luxury. Low birth rate, spike the water with red sang. No production, use Jadonics. Do people still keep using the term war criminal in your presence? Despite the fact you
So it's like Cookie Clicker, but instead of getting more cookie, you get to feel like the god of a galaxy. You know, I get it. You know, I get it. That's the cooler.
Multiple times.
The options are merch. I bought the merch! I bought the chestnut merch! I did! Every game is Cookie Clicker for PB. Okay, a game where you can't even use WSD to walk, you can't shoot, and all you do is click things to make a number go up is the type of game I would say is reminiscent of Cookie Clicker. I wouldn't say Elden Ring is like Cookie Clicker, okay? Because you actually have to play that game! Oh, this video. Oh, I don't want to. I'm not gonna read the YouTube comments in this one. This is worse rage bait than I did in the Markiplier Smash or Pass Pokemon video, okay? It's worse rage bait than I did in that one, and the comments in that one are crazy.
That enemy civilians are indeed active combatants. Bring out the hallucinogenic grapes. Given time, any problem can be solved. Given money, any problem can be solved instantaneously. I don't know exactly how we're going to terraform a planet in a single turn, but I know the next time I look, there better be a fucking jungle instead. There's a lot of ships in this game.
See, I know that would be like very hard to do, but like if you could actually like zoom in and see the things on the planets, like again, you're kind of just looking at balls while you see a number go up, right? You know, I understand that for the scale of the game, it wouldn't really be possible, but I think it would be cool if you could like zoom in on the planet, see your little colony, and you know, just see them work.
Unique to each faction. They're all fully customizable, limited only by the type and number of modules available. Primarily, you're going to use them to intimidate your enemies into submission and to intimidate your friends into working a little harder on their friendship. Your only control over combat is the loadout, formation, and tactics used by your military. The rest is a simulation played out by the computer, where each time a ship explodes, you know the cinematic at the end of Diablo 2 where Tyrael throws his sword at the World Stone and it explodes into a billion chunks of wood? Yeah, that's exactly how every ship explodes in this game. Combat is very simple. There's different weapons, which have different accuracies depending on the range of engagement.
So it's like Risk, the tabletop game. You know, where you put like your army and then you roll for it. You know? Actually, yes. Ah, see, I got a good comparison for once. It's like Risk. I used to play Risk, you know? Risk is pretty fun. You know what? Yeah, Risk is great, okay? Yeah. Dude, like, I think there is so much to it, but it's also you can have better strategies. Like, I think there is so much to it, but it's also the you can have better strategies. I think there is so much to it, but it's also the you can have better strategies.
tread anything up close, including long-range ballistic missiles, but they bounce off
So
armor.
space
Lasers
risk.
cut ships in half at mid-range, while beam weaponry works at every range. Unless they have shields, you can absolutely get away with filling every slot with a flat cannon, choosing the default tactics card, and still win every fight. Besides interplanetary combat, you can also directly invade. This works on the same principle, which means I'm still going to use the default tactics card, which just so happens to be preemptive orbital bombardment. Many civilians will die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Your chance of success depends entirely on whether or not you have replaced your troops with a mobile suit Gundam. If you conquer a system, you can choose to either spare the population or take a massive hit to your public approval rating by re-educating and reintegrating the native population into the fucking soil. Which is a good time and segue to talk about politics. In Endless Space 2, you have government, you have Senate.
Okay, now you lost me again. Now you lost me again. You lost
You
me
have an
again now.
obligation to represent your people, which is why we have a dictatorship. Power to the masses is power to the upper classes, and any proletariat will see the wisdom of my words. Politics is all-encompassing in Endless Space 2. Any action you take, endorse, or sponsor will shift the political axis of your entire empire. As with real life, the opinions of your people are difficult to manage.
So once again, you look at numbers and you pick the thing that makes number go up, and you try not to pick the thing that makes number go down. But then sometimes number go down first thing and number go up, and you gotta think which number you want to go up and down. Just like cookie clicker.
Their motivations difficult to guess. There's a total of 6 different party ideologies you can choose to
Okay, let's see. Industrialists, militarists, religious, ecologists, scientists, pacifists. Which one? Tag yourself. Tag yourself. Ooh, tag yourself. Yeah. Yeah, tag yourself.
support, each two a pair of polar opposites, religious and scientific, militarist and pacifist, ecological and industrial. On top of that, you've got your government. This controls your party representation and how much corruption you can get away
Can you
with.
get like usurped in your own world? Like what if like you have a democracy, right? And like the people of your colony just decide that they don't want you to be the leader, so then that's it, you lose. GG. Because now there's an AI guy controlling your thingy. Yes, you lose the game? Okay, that's kind of epic though. Okay, the fact that you as the player can get voted out of your own colony is kind of epic. Low-key.
Democracy has the widest free party representation. It is also the most corrupt because I have no control over my elections. Republics and federations are generally more progressive, offering less representation and more opportunities to correct the result of any rigged election. Dictatorship completely removes the need for underhanded tactics and ensures that all voices are heard and represented by the single party I choose. Every political party holding office has representatives. These are not your average man. These are heroes recruited from the academy. But what is the academy? You know how I said dust is currency and dust is essentially a cloud computing nanite swarm? Now, imagine smoking it, because the Academy does exactly that. You're hiring nanite-augmented crackheads to rule your empire. These are very diverse in both race and specialization. They eat
Fucking DI, bro. God damn. They got us again in our video games? Oh my god, bro. They letting... I know I paused on a pretty lady. Let me do my joke! Let me do my joke! Whatever. And it's... One unfortunate pause ruined my whole joke, dude.
have their own unique and interesting backstory. Except Scales. Scales is literally a giant bat that likes to eat zucchini.
Oh,
How
me.
is she qualified in any way to
It's
be my
me.
senator? I don't know. But the people love her. And who am I to say no to that
course the
smile?
people love
So
her.
what's the point of political parties? I'll tell you. It's called legislation. And legislation controls the folk.
And you lost me. That's so boring. Why would I want to do laws in a video game? Oh my god, just imagine sitting there having to read every single one of those and be like, okay, so this is, does this, so that if they do this, they can no longer do this. Okay, now this one, if they do this, then this will happen. Like this, my head hurts. I'm watching a video and my head hurts, bro. I'm watching a video and I'm suffering just thinking about reading all those laws.
Focus of your empire. You can pass laws respective to each party you have in office. The leading political party also enacts their own automatic policy. Scientists let you research high-tech without unlocking it. Religion gives you the moral high ground to escalate a cold war without legal consequence. Industrialism uses the economy to finance the economy by expanding the economy. How could ecology possibly compete? Well, by giving the public announcement that we don't exactly know how to live on a volcano, so let's do it anyway. Militarist rhetoric not only removes the political cost of war, it actively encourages you to go to war with absolutely everyone. And finally, the pacifists can, at any time, without your consent, force you into a state of peace. Passing law costs influence, depending on the size of your empire. The longer a party stays in power, the more laws you have to choose from. For example, state-enforced eugenics.
Support divine edicts, backward, outward passages of valuable meaning from the empire's most holy text can help pass the most controversial law. The only the true race of the empire be allowed to grow lesser race. I was reading it as a bit of hating reading. What the fuck? What the fuck? Lesser races, whatever their breeding habits, are permitted to retain in their present numbers to a one-on-one offspring fiat, while the original race are encouraged to multiply. Jesus Christ, can't believe I read all that.
And mandatory sterilization of other races who aren't your own is a relatively simple law to pass with minimal political experience. Asking everyone to work overtime requires a level of finesse and eloquence only seen in the most Machiavellian of politicians. Unlike many 4X games, Endless Space 2 has quests. Most of these are faction-specific story missions with branching political options to suit your empire. They're
Oh my god, there's so much text. There's so much text. I could never play this. I could never play this game.
quite interesting. They give you something to do, and most of all, they give you permanent upgrades for
So
the
the
rest
quest
of...
is all text, no cutscene, no anything. It's all text. It's all text. All of former justices include embedded monitoring devices that track all movement, communication, and labor undertaken by the individual. Imperfect dedications met with auto punishment delivered by the same devices. Industrial output is transformed.
the game. You also have multiplayer. How do you play multiplayer? It's quite simple. You all connect to a game, you play for about 50 turns, you forget to make backups of your game, and then everyone
So
collectively...
the multiplayer one is like Risk. So basically, you play it solo most of the time, but there's a multiplayer mode where you kind of do like a couple like in-game days, turns.
desynchronizes. Welcome to Endless Space 2 multiplayer. With all that covered, you've
I
got
could never
a
play this game.
general idea.
Reads 75,000 page Yahweh in free time on Twitter. This is how I know you hate me and you don't know me, because I do not read fucking fanfiction. I read mangas which have images, okay? I'm sorry. I'm playing a video game today. Cool, what do you do in that game? Read and click. Read and click!
Of how to play Endless Space 2. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. The factions. There are currently 12 different races to choose. I'm gonna cover them
Okay,
all.
wait, I'm gonna
The
see them.
Sophons are a race of intellectuals. Despite this, they
I do
talk
like
in
the
a
designs. I will say I can't shit on that. I like the
British
designs.
accent. They're overdeveloped geckos that love science and hate personal health and safety.
It's like, you know, the thing from Ben 10, the alien that Ben 10 has is smart. It's like they're like the smart Ben 10 alien. No, accelerate is fast, you stupid little bitch. Stupid asshole. Stupid. Embarrassing that you said that. That's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. You do not understand how embarrassing that is for you. They said accelerate when I was talking about a smart little fucker. That is so embarrassing. Me personally, I would never leave the house again after that one. I would never leave the house again. Never.
The less people know a technology, the faster Sophons can obtain it. If you want a fairly vanilla faction with an easy science victory, go play the Sophonity. Conversely,
Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little
Richer.
We have a Lumeris, whose entire ethos, motivation, and philosophy can be crystallized
Okay,
in
so
one
Jabba
word.
the Hutt. Okay. We got the great little freak from Ben 10, Jabba the Hutt.
Money. For the Lumeris, no problem is too great, as long as you throw piles of money at it. They
Snail.
also have my favorite faction leader.
Commerce, baby. The light.
Stop. Stop it.
Blood of this and any other galaxy.
Who is probably responsible for every single trade cartel in the known galaxy, and arguably runs more of an economic crime syndicate than a legitimate empire. But I don't care, because Big Titty Fish Mommy is going to buy the...
Dude, why is he so thick? Why is he so thick, bro? Guards? Whatever, we'll move on.
galaxy, and I'm gonna help her. If you like making obscene amounts of cash, amphibious mommy milkers, or just
Dude.
winning the game by accident, play Lumeris. Imagine rampant over-industrialization and the fractured ecosystem that follows, given
I'm
such
buying this game right now, but you're not even gonna be able to look at her in 3D. It's just gonna be a sprite of her as you press the numbers. It's gonna be a sprite of her as you press the
dire
numbers.
conditions. What do you think is the most reasonable course of action? You can A, put all your resources into ecological initiatives and repair the sorry state of your planet, or B, digitize yourself and become a gaming laptop. The Vodiani chose the second option. Even better, they made a church out of it. Belief is
They
strength.
do
What
actually look like gaming laptops. Wait, are those his nipples? Wait.
Worship is endless, and heretics
Okay,
are
they're kinda
nothing but
hot,
essence
though.
for the harvest. Unlike other races, the Vodiani don't colonize. They travel, they land, and then they harvest. Then we have Horatio.
They're kind of hot, bro. Oh, this one, no. This one, no. I wanted to see more of the other one. The mask attacks again. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
Come to pry on the most stunning man in the galaxy again?
Okay, I'm
Originally
sorry.
a wealthy
No.
trillionaire, Horatio set out to find his own star system. Along the way, he also found extremely advanced cloning technology. So he made 1 billion copies of each
Wait, so there's a race which is just one guy? That's crazy. So the whole race is just clones of this one guy? That's so funny. Okay, that is awesome. That is awesome.
most beautiful and gorgeous person to ever exist, which was of course Horatio. And then Horatio thought to himself, what better than to fill the galaxy with beauty? What better than
Oh my
to fill the
God.
galaxy with Horatio? Horatio is concerned with pressing matters such as air conditioning. His government, accordingly, is an eco-fascist dictatorship.
Make Horatio great again.
Of course, there are
No, he did not say that. He did not say that, bro. That's crazy.
other, less fortunate races than Horatio. But Horatio is not only
So
handsome,
the
he is
race is just called Horatio because it's only him.
also brilliant, and thus he finds ways to integrate minority populations by splicing their genetics with Horatio. Yes, many of your less symmetrical friends and family may simply disappear, but know that their memory will live on inside Horatio. Horatio is a classic case of careful who you call ugly in high school, because he just might use the entire galaxy as a glorified eugenics program. The United Empire
He's a
can be
freak.
summarized in a single clip.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
So this is like the classic. I feel like all of these fantasy space things always have the human faction, which is just armies of people. I assume this is that one.
Doing my part too.
The United Empire is an imperialist, expansionist federation where the will of the emperor is absolute. Any construction
The will of who? Excuse me. The will of who?
any technology, any luxury he so desires, the Empire provides. For the Emperor does not ask, he commands, and the raw influence of his voice can make the impossible into reality. If you want to play not only the most industrious faction, but also the one that generates the most influence just by being industrious, try the United Empire. Propaganda, patriotism, and the greatest of military-industrial complexes await you. Enlist today, service guarantees citizenship. So far, everyone I covered at least have the option of diplomacy. But what if that's just not in your nature?
What do you sound like when you scream?
The Cravers are fucking terrifying. As a leftover bioweapon made by the Virtual Endless, they only have one purpose: consume everything. Any planet with Cravers on it has a fixed life expectancy.
Oh my
because
God.
the Cravers will rip it, strip it, and tear it apart. And then they move on. There is no long-term plan. There is no sustainability. There is no choice but to consume you as well.
We are coming.
Trees. Do you know how fast a tree moves? Not very fast. The Unfallen are a race of trees. They
Oh, it's like the white lady from Hollow Knight.
speak with a Scottish accent.
Why do
It's the white lady from Hollow Knight.
you pester the heart with your petty needs?
Much like the
Damn,
Scottish,
she doesn't sound like I remember, but
trees are rooted to the ground. They don't do much, and their only way of winning the game is to ask you politely, do you know how they colonize other planets? They need to slowly, delicately, without
Who would pick
interruption,
this faction?
entwine them with celestial vines and hope or pray that they didn't start next to Cravers. If you enjoy pressing and turn and being a vegetable, you'll enjoy playing the Unfallen. Imagine being an ostrich. Now, imagine evolving to the point where you're used as arena blood sports for the entertainment of an advanced decadent civilization. Then that civilization gets wiped out. You get your freedom and form a tribalistic society of samurai ostriches. Then you accidentally stab your katana through a giant ship, and suddenly you're a major faction. The Hisho were added with the Supremacy DLC, together with the main source of tears and salt on the Endless Space 2 forums.
oh my God, is it like a OP? Is it like the OP faction that whenever they add a new faction, it's like so unbalanced and everybody loses their mind? Every game has one of those.
Behemoths. Behemoths are multi-purpose.
So pay to win. True, it is pay to win because you have to get the DLC. Oh my God, they did it on purpose.
Class ships. They can support the bureaucracy, plutocracy, or theocracy, accelerate genocide, accommodate homicide, extract resources in a remote situation, and even terraform planets for improved habitation. They can do anything. That's why they're insanely expensive and you get very few of them. But that's not why people got upset. They got upset because the Behemoth is a precursor to something a little more concerning. A planet killer is morally dubious, leaves millions of grieving survivors, and generally causes public unrest. A system killer accelerates a megaton nuclear payload directly at the sun, causing it to expand into a red supergiant as the core collapses and begins to fuse hydrogen. In a single nanosecond, all life in that solar system is gonna need some SPF 70 sunscreen. The Obliterator is a system killer which is made by upgrading a Behemoth, and prior to many updates and patches, had no effect on public relations. I found this incredibly entertaining. Because the missile actually has to travel to its destination, it often took several turns for enemy players to see the ball of light quickly approaching their home system. At this point, you will notice
I understand.
something.
You know, I understand. This would piss you off, bro. I get it.
The chat functionality.
Is this Stellaris? No. This is like, it's a game. It's like Cookie Clicker, but like space themed, you know? Yeah.
Inside which you will see a stream of colorful messages calling you a number of racial slurs, after which the player will mysteriously disconnect and add you as a friend on Steam. Even after numerous nerfs, the Hisho stand tall. For the Hisho, combat isn't just about winning, it's about honor, which they call Kai because they're a race of weeaboo samurai
Oh my God, it's the weeb race, of course.
chickens. The more honorable your actions, the more Kai you generate, the more obedient your empire. And if it ever falls too low, just remember, Aztec blood sacrifices are a great way of gaining popularity. Vaulters are the DLC DLC race designed to completely invalidate the Sophons, because for Vaulters, location is no issue. We've got portals for that. Disconnected system with no clear star lane? Even better. The typical Vaulter player will usually fuck off to the four corners of a galaxy and quietly win a science victory before we can even find them. Also, their mothership, the Argosy, can be used as a two-way portal. I very much enjoy parking outside an enemy system, warping in my obliterator, and cooking them instantaneously. The Riftborn are Tetris blocks from another universe, which is currently overrun with super aids. In a last act of desperation, the Riftborn entered our universe. To them, it's a dystopian reality filled with all manner of squirming, wriggling creatures that piss and shit everywhere. From their perspective, they just took a one-way ticket to hell. However, they don't judge. They just want to survive. Unlike us, Riftborn aren't born. They're made in the construction queue. Otherwise, they work a lot like us, except in reverse. Terrestrial planet, I sleep. 1,000-degree lava planet with no trace of life, real shit. Colonize immediately.
So this is good for like, you can do like a reverse win, you know, where you have to win based on the planets that people don't want.
Hey, it's a race of abstract geometric polygons. Give them a break. Luckily, they can also break reality by compressing or dilating the flow of time. And if you've ever been to a college fraternity, you'll have no problem pronouncing their names. The second last DLC, Penumbra, introduced a controversial mechanic: hacking. It's a nice way to grab intel, sabotage enemy systems, and of course, accidentally turn a Craver government into a pacifist dictatorship. With that, they also added the Umbral Choir. The Umbral Choir is an immaterial, intergalactic wraith with good intentions, like a ghost in the machine.
So it's like a possession, a goo that possesses other faction people?
Umbral Choir spreads by hacking absolutely everything. Every transmission is tapped, every system is compromised, and we have no trace of who did it, because the Umbral Choir doesn't want to be found. How do you fight something you can't see? How do you stop something that's already inside the wire? And if it's already inside the wire, then how do you know it isn't inside you already? Honestly, they're extremely fun to play, especially when your friends mouse over a system and ask why half of their GDP keeps disappearing into the Craver Pension Fund. Finally, it's a good time to talk about the last DLC, Awakening, which adds the Nakalim, a fairly interesting religious faction that I personally enjoyed, but also adds the Academy as a separate AI-controlled faction. Now, let me tell you why that's a problem, because the leader of the Academy...
He's hot though. He's hot though. Come on now. Come on. I swear, good old mask. I don't have a mask fetish. He's got no face. I know, it adds to the charm. Look, it adds to the charm. God damn it.
Bear with me. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
You guys we're gushing over the big boob alien lady. Okay.
Because Isandir takes territory, which he doesn't need, away from players.
It's because he's hot. It's pretty privileged.
He can also enter your territory, destroy your fleets, and siege your planets. But Lord forbid you manage to sink one of Isandir's ships, which, by the way, are stronger than any other faction. That's an act of aggression. And he's going to ask you to pay reparations. Small side note, if you're getting harassed and
you know how I support him. I support everything he does. I support him in his endeavors, and he can do whatever.
Used by Isandir, and you want him to stop, you can't. Until you discover the location of the Academy, you can't even do diplomacy. Now, let's say you forgive all that. You're open-minded.
They just hate him because he's a sexy king.
And you're wondering, what's the point of a new Academy?
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Every 10 turns, Isandir will ask for your most generous financial contribution to the Academy. The highest contributions will get their preferred position within the Academy. After another 10 turns,
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Also, he's been expertly programmed to forget any positive relations you had before, which may surprise you, since he'll go back to neutral and start attacking you. Better pay up, because you can't contribute to the academy until you've paid reparations. If you try to take his home system, he'll demand you give it back and pay reparations. Who the fuck made this shit? Oh right, it's not even the same studio. They outsourced this.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all!
Oh no! Ah, shit, boludo! Es argentino! No, es argentino! Boludo, no! Let's go!
The other DLC up until Penumbra, fantastic, love it. Awakening is about $13 you can spend to make the game worse. It's such garbage that even if I got it for free, I'd still ask for a refund. We could talk hours about strategy, metagame, and the eternal question we always return to. Is Endless Space 2 balanced? No, it is not. There are many mods to try and fix this, but ultimately, part of what makes this game so interesting is the element of randomness, forcing you to adapt and overcome the circumstances to the best of your ability. There's many players out there who will constantly demand you remake the game, citing that they don't have an optimal 5-planet system adjacent to them and can't possibly compete. If you don't, they disconnect. The equivalent of this is being born on planet Earth to a middle-class family and immediately committing suicide to try and re-roll for better RNG.
No.
Because if I can't be born as the son of a wealthy Middle Eastern sheikh, I may as well not be born. Endless Space 2 is a
If you
wonderfully...
please play this game, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen ever. It's just never gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not playing Cookie Clicker with text. Okay? I like the factions and like the world building of it. The gameplay, no. No. I don't think I will play.
Designed and beautifully made game with such a level of pace and intrigue that I actually bought a legal copy. I've played it for 2 years and I still keep coming back. It satisfies every tick box I ever wanted for a civilization game in space. It's enjoyable and relaxing both in single player and in multiplayer. You're probably going to desynchronize before anyone actually gets wanted for a civilization game in space. It's enjoyable and relaxing both in...
Do you think she's hot? Yes or no? This is basically the female version of the guy. Yes. Yes. No, yes. I'm indifferent, yes. Then why are you judging me? She has a little bit of boob jiggle. Just wait. When I unpause, just look at it. You'll see it.
Single player and in multiplayer, you're probably going to desynchronize before anyone actually gets angry. I like the music and I enjoy amphibious mommy milkers. I give Endless Space...
I think the no-face girl is hotter than the amphibious one.
An extremely high score. I am also issuing a...
Why are you here at the worst times for Joel? Why are you here at the worst times for me? Okay, look, I am just saying that sometimes when a character has no face, it's kind of hot. It depends though, not all the time. And I don't need them to not have a face to be hot, but sometimes they are.
Public fatwa against anyone responsible for the Awakening DLC. This time, there's no discount because my inside...
If it happens this much, it's more common than you think. No! I'm not a freak! I should sometimes... Look, people think that I need people to wear a mask to be into them. I don't. I can be into people that don't have masks. So, oh man. But yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna play this. I don't think I'm gonna play this, but it was interesting to see. I enjoy learning about the factions. We don't say that, but you do like it. But a mask makes it better. No, it's just that sometimes when they have no face, they can just be hot in a vacuum by themselves. Okay, look.